Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning into the podcast this week. We got a special guest, my buddy Marcos from Standards. Marcos came through. He was hanging out in New York for a week or two, and he took the train down to beautiful New Brunswick, New Jersey, the most beautiful town or city in New Jersey. But it was fun. We got to hang out a bit. We got to record a podcast in person, which is something I haven't done in like a year and a half. A lot of it's, or all of it's been through Zoom, which, you know, it works. But this was fun because we were in the same room. It's just a different vibe. We got to talk shit about the music industry. We got to talk shop. You know, if you know Marcos and you know Standards, you know he's like really driven, has like a really good work ethic, good head on his shoulders. The band just released a new single. It's called Papaya. They have an EP coming out. It's called Yum, and you could pre-order vinyl for that now. One thing I thought was interesting was that like their last album wasn't on a label. Their last album was released through a record label, and this one isn't. You know, so I know a lot of people in bands think record labels are like the saving grace all the time, but it really depends what you want, what your goals are, how much work you're willing to put in, and all that. So it was pretty inspiring talking to him. I like talking to him because it like makes me feel like I got to get my shit together. It was good. One more thing I got to mention is that we used Marcos's camera to record the podcast, like the video. He's got a really nice camera because he's like an influencer. He's an influencer or whatever. No, but yeah, we used his camera to record, and it cut out after 30 minutes. So if you're watching this on YouTube after 30 minutes, there won't be any video. I'm sorry, but you can still listen on YouTube, and you can listen on iTunes and on our website as well. All right, enjoy the podcast. Thank you.
We are... What? I'm doing your job for you.
Do it.
We are live on the Choke Fartist podcast.
Dude, don't come in here disrespecting me, dude. How dare you?
Whatever, man. I do what I have to do.
It's good to have you back. It's good to see you again.
It's good to... I'm worried about that mic level now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crank you a bit.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I think we're good now.
It's very like you to keep me low. It's the Marcos show. Everywhere you go, dude.
Oh, now you're too high.
It's tricky, right?
Well, it's very dynamic, but
yeah,
it is what it is. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway. Should we start over? Or?
No, let's just keep going.
Yeah, it's fine.
Who's even listening at this point?
That's a good point. But yeah, you're in town.
I'm here. I decided to trek to New Jersey, and we're gonna chat.
Yeah, we're talking shop here, so I guess we should talk about how much your life has changed since the pandemic started.
Dude, everyone's life has changed, and we've been catching up before the camera was rolling, but wow.
Yeah.
Things are different. Yeah. Things are wild.
I will say, I think you're a little, so, you know, Marcos tours with Standards, right? Is it fair to say that?
Yeah.
Is it, can we say that on here?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so, no, but, you know, touring was it's a big part of any musician's income, and it was cut off from you, right when things were starting to get to a point where it felt like it could be
Well, I think you can understand too is like it's more of a DIY thing for bands to tour around and to sort of to share their art everywhere. And I think that's not really what we're seeing anymore. But like as of right now, things are looking a bit better, which is cool. Yeah. Things are wild.
Yeah. Well, you were saying before you don't know if you'll ever be able to get out there in a full capacity again. And I think you got to wait a little before.
Right.
You know, so much is changing.
Joe, you got to talk to the mic.
Damn it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, dude.
Well,
we got to show the kids how it's done.
Yeah, we're like a professional. Marcos brought his nice camera, and it's making me nervous. I'm not used to this.
No, we're just here, just pretending like it's not here. We're just gonna roll with it.
I know. Yeah. Well, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know, dude. Like, so I mean, on your end with vinyl and stuff, have you seen that slow down at all?
Yeah, and you know, everything has been pushed back. The supply chain backed up. The Suez Canal literally fucked up vinyl production.
Really?
For the plants you were going through also.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Huh.
Pirates and A to Z. I don't know how it all works, but I know that vinyl is usually 3 to 4 months, and now it's like 6 to 12.
Right.
So
I mean, for people who don't know, like vinyl is like definitely more of an integral part of like bands and how they make money, how they sell things, and vinyl is like a very like I feel like a really cool way to stay in touch with people like with your releases. But a lot of that stuff goes through the Czech Republic,
Yeah,
which I guess I didn't know was getting shipped out of the Suez Canal. That's wild.
It's strange.
Did not know that.
It did cause some delays at the plant over there, but yeah, and I think the technology for pressing plants is so like antiquated still.
Yeah.
Like they're not really building new presses too often.
Right.
And it kind of everything's backed up now. And then you can't play shows on the top of it. It's just not a great time.
No, it's not.
Yeah. But I do agree that it's funny. I was reading something that Trent Reznor, the Nine Inch Nails guy, said about how vinyl is cool. It's a tangible piece of art. And like, because I'm very anti-capitalist, so like I think all merch is stupid, even the stuff I
Yeah,
sell.
we don't like the corporate.
Yeah, we're punk rock here. But yeah, he was like, there's something to you having a tangible item in someone's house because like you're literally a part of their home now where like it just keeps you and your art in their like head. Even in the back of their head, they'll walk past your record every day.
Right.
But
it's also cool because you can. It's a medium that you can express like like I think we're more of like a colorful, fun band. Like we can pick like a pastel vinyl with like a splatter or like something like that. Like I think that's super cool that you can express your art in the vinyl. Like that is something that's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't really see that too often. Like CDs is just like this tiny little thing. Like nobody really listens to CDs anymore. And
no.
Yeah, the streaming thing is so big, and it's kind of weird too because I think streaming gives people like a weird sense of like, and I think that's something I'm actually curious what you think of because I think streaming, in my perception, like some artists are really big on streaming, and then they play a show and like nobody comes. But then sometimes it's vice versa. Like there's an artist and they don't have a lot of streams, but then they have like tons of people come and see them. Like the scene comes out for that band, It's very interesting.
There's so many avenues that you can like kind of carve a lane or like, I'm not on, are you on TikTok?
I was on TikTok. I actually really like TikTok. I think it's really funny, but as a creator, it's hard for me to be on TikTok because I feel like you have to be so invested in the platform. Like there's so many different like things going on and you have to like constantly be like on and like there's just like a lot of pressure to like blow up or to like get people to pay attention to you, and then keeping those people, it just all of those things gave me a headache and it was hard for me to
I think it requires because it seems like it's aimed towards younger people, but it requires the more constant attention that I think you've kind of distanced yourself from a little bit.
Yeah.
Like with the constant, like all this stuff. But yeah, well, because I was going to say TikTok is like an avenue where like labels are paying TikTok to promote songs now.
Right.
So they can blow up on there. But
well, it's like a hit machine now.
Yeah.
Like seriously, bands, you'll go on like their Spotify and it's like one song has like 100 million plays and then the other ones have like 1 million each. And it's like, that's the one that blew up on TikTok. Like it's wild.
It's wild and it's not tangible. So it's, it exists in your phone.
Right.
And then again, sometimes like you were saying, it doesn't yield results in real life. Sometimes for pop stars, I'd imagine it does. But I think there's no right or wrong way to do anything now. But it is interesting to see how things play out and how it's like not always like guaranteed. If you have 100,000 monthly listeners, sometimes it doesn't mean shit. Sometimes it just means a publicist or a label paid money to get you on a playlist.
It's true. I think it's like the longevity of it, right? Like I think there's some things that were popping off like 5 years ago. I think time will always tell like how good something is.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that was really hard for me, especially during COVID, because it's like I'm really grateful for people that really like my music, but it's difficult to sustain yourself unless you have lots of people that like your music. And it's like I feel bad almost that I like what I like because I wish that I could do something more accessible. But at the same time, I'm doing something that's truly me, and that I'm not making any of this as a fabrication.
Yeah.
And if I did do that, that might even be worse in a weird way because people would expect that,
I mean, that's kind of like selling out, right? Like,
I guess that is what selling out is. Right. Yeah, that's true.
Like, not being true to yourself. And I think there's a difference between like, do we need a 3-minute guitar solo in the song? Maybe dial it back to like, that's maybe just a good taste call overall because who needs a fucking guitar solo anymore? Just in general, like I don't know what the last one I liked was.
Dude, I took one of my first classes at CalArts when I was doing my undergrad was like, it was concert production, and I don't even remember how my teacher started talking about it, but he's like, I hate guitar solos. Jimi Hendrix did the guitar solo. It was cool then. It's not cool now. He was like so upset about like guitar solos. He's like, nobody thinks it's cool anymore, and it's like, what if this guy thinks that? What does everyone else think? Like,
I think I agree.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's hard. It just sounds like noise to me, dude. Honestly, even fucking tapping riffs sometimes now. I think like Finn McKenty did a video on like progressive music, but he called it riff salad, where it's like, yeah, you picked, there's 8 notes in the key, you picked 40 of them, you just jammed them all together, and like sometimes it's missing like the lyricism, like especially in like instrumental music, like
Right.
it doesn't carry anything. Like there's something to writing a melody and not just being like notes, fucking notes. And this is coming from the guy that plays an influence,
No, but I think it takes one to know one, right? Like you do what you do, but you understand like time and place, and there's like context, right? Like,
yeah.
And I agree. Like, I think when I first started playing guitar in that way, I was like so excited at the possibility, but like I realized like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. And I started scaling it back more and more. And like now with the new EP that's coming out, well, I think by the time this comes out, it'll be available for pre-order.
Go pre-order it. Yeah. Well, you sent me the video. It's very cool.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like that, there's not really any tapping in that song. Like, just very brief. Not a lot of notes.
Yeah.
It's very, very much more laid back.
It's a vibe, dude.
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Lo-fi standards to study and relax to. That's what we want. No, it's very good. I was saying it felt like you leveled up in your production, the production value, like all the electronic stuff and like, I don't want to say chiptune-y, but like, that vibe of it that you brought in really helped bring a new energy to it, and I think made it stand out.
No, I appreciate that. Like, I think the way that I started thinking about it was like in the vein of like I do what I do and it's what I want like to be my singular thing. It felt like I should make something like like you said chiptune-y, but you're kind of in the right way. Like I wanted to feel like you're in your own video game that's like my video game.
Yes.
Like I made it or something.
Yeah.
Like it's like its own world, and it's removed from other sorts of artists and genres and just scenes. It's just its own monolithic thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I hoped. So I'm glad that it came across that way a bit.
So from when like Fruit Island came out, from that point, the reception it got, did you decide then creatively you wanted to take a new direction?
Well, that album was weird because like, and I think we were talking about this earlier, like how, you were touring a bunch and you were just going all around, and like the effect that it took on your health. For me, I think it affected my creativity because I was so freaking tired every day, like touring. And I even remember when we did this last time 2 years ago, I was so exhausted. And then we had a show later that night. Like
Heinlein was sick.
Sick. We all just had to like, it's very difficult to do that, but it's something that, I want to do. And it's something that also it's very good for the band because you make more money, so you can make more records and you can pay, your bills and shit. Like, that's just how it is. But that record it was like songs spanning back 3 years, and I was just getting songs that I didn't feel like I was doing as much work as I could have on that. And I think also when the album was getting finished, COVID had just hit. So we had a bunch of problems with getting mixes finished on time because there was all like a bunch of displacement happening because of that.
Yeah.
Just every aspect of the record was frustrating.
Yeah. The vinyl got goofed on too,
The vinyl got well, that was not anyone's fault. It's really just again COVID. Like,
yeah.
And it's just a huge bummer. Like that is none of that went the way that I wanted it to.
Yeah.
And it's like part of it is just that's life and that's how things go. But the other part of it was like, how can I make sure that I can give like people a better experience and I can make a better record?
Yeah.
So I think going from that, I was like, I wanted to do like what I'm doing now with this EP, and like I've already started writing beyond that too, and trying to be like, I want to just deliver this really solid sort of thing versus like I felt it was a bit haphazard. A lot of the things were. It's not exactly the way I wanted it to sound, and I think a lot of the songs you could cut them and it wouldn't change the. But I guess you're your own worst critic, right?
Yeah.
So
I think it's good. Fruit Island. I think it's like mature.
Thanks, dude. Yeah.
And then I think this next stuff is more fun, and like not as a knock to the older stuff,
right?
Just like kind of more like you're like what you want to do, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also I think like as an artist, it's difficult once you come out with 1 or 2 releases because it's like if you do the same thing again. It's not like, do you remember in like 2012 or something where like all the metalcore bands, they just did the same album over and over again? And
yes.
It's like that you're digging yourself a grave, and it's like it would actually be easy to just write like tappy mathy stuff,
sure.
But then it's like how many times is that just gonna?
Yeah, because those metalcore bands had like the machine of independent or major labels pumping like advertising money and like convincing 14-year-olds that their band and their haircuts were cool, like.
Well, they did convince them.
Yeah, they looked cool as shit, honestly. But it's different for you, and also like I've probably said this to you before, but it's like you put in so much legwork that when you had some people think they get signed at Top Shelf Records and they've made it and that's it. Like, I know bands that are like, we need to get signed, and it's like, for what though? If you're not already putting in a lot of the legwork, which
Right.
you naturally, I don't know if it's natural. I know you fucking work hard, but you have that in you to do it.
Thanks, dude.
So that gives you more legwork, like more of like you have more weight when you're like negotiating or like working with labels,
right.
because they're not like, well, we have to put all this money in, like.
Yeah,
So.
well, but it's a different time also. Like, I think getting signed back in the day, it was a little bit more essential from what I understand.
Dude, it's all I wanted in high school. I
Really?
literally used to go, because I played in like I don't know if it's metalcore or melodic post-hardcore, who cares, but like I would go to like record label websites and like just read their rosters and like the contact forms, and then like the older I got, I was like, I don't know if I need this, and now it's like, I just put out the records I do, and now people ask me to sign them, and I'm like, this isn't going to change your life by any means.
No, but I mean, I think I think there are like benefits and stuff, but also like when you get that email from a label, like we got emails from little labels and then like one bigger one, and the bigger one, they didn't want to sign us, they just wanted to chat.
Okay.
And we did meet them, but it was not a good fit, and I can like they just wanted to keep us
on the radar.
Yeah, exactly. Like they wanted to establish contact, and then it never materialized anything. But it was for the better. Because now when I see bands on those labels, it's like we would not fit with that roster at all.
Okay. Yeah.
But a label is more or less just like a bank, and they just like loan you money. Because anything they give you, they want it back.
Yes.
And it's just like it was scary now, because I feel like going independent was a great thing for me to do, because I really love being hands-on with everything. Like it's just something I can't help. But it was scary because it's like now I'm paying up front for all these things, but it's like you would have paid anyway. You just it would have been delayed,
Yeah.
So
and would there be interest on it, or I guess they would just take a cut of profit that you yield.
Well, I mean that's a typical deal.
That's how it works.
Yeah. I remember reading a book actually about like punk rock music. Like the
Yes.
No, it was like for a class that I took, and it was like post-punk. It was everything from like I can't even remember, like the 70s to the 90s. I can't remember, but it was like it focused on the history of Rough Trade. I don't know if you're familiar with that label, Rough Trade.
No.
They're from I can't remember the town, so I'm not going to say, but they were the pioneers of the 50-50 deal. Cuz usually labels would, so it was like 50-50. They go in with you, they pay for everything, they get their money back, and then they go 50-50. And that's a pretty typical deal for an indie label now. But back in the day, it was very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, like labels didn't work that way.
Yeah, because I think labels started because there was literally the means of producing music was so scarce.
Limited. Yeah. But also distribution and promotion, and like now literally you can just go on TikTok and like make something that's sick, and if people like it, they'll like follow you, and that's it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know what in-store distribution. I think there is like a network of people that go to stores and stuff, but
there's distributors, but honestly, fucking independent record stores are fucking scarce. Yeah, they're not. They barely exist. The Vintage Vinyl in New Jersey is closed down. It's like one of the better ones, but it's like you can maybe get your record into like 30 shops in the country, maybe 40 or 50, where it's worth it. Like at the level that we're at, and then once you're like, whatever, asking Alexandria or something, I'm sure you can get like
Best Buy and Target.
Topics.
Yeah, exactly.
But it takes a while to get to that point, and I don't even know the weight. I'm sure it's worth something.
Yeah.
I have the problem where I'm always down here looking up at the music industry. I'm like, I don't need that shit. But like, if I was ever in a band that was like a little bigger, maybe some of those things would make sense.
Yeah, some of it sometimes to me feels like a bit of a circus. Like, and there's a lot of weight riding on like whether these 10 songs on your record are going to be very good or not. And it's I think it's really hard I think it's so much better to just be in control of what you're doing, just put out and do everything yourself, and like just kind of run it more like a mom and pop shop instead of like a sort of like a hyped up, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like what you're describing. Like.
Yeah, a lot of musicians are, I think, a little disillusioned about it, where it's like, oh, we made it. But it's like, what does that mean in that sense? It's like...
It means something different to everyone. For me, making it is like, if I'm making a living, I'm making it. Like, that's great. Yeah.
I think people picture, like, just thousands of fans, but they don't think about the actual work going in. So then it's like... for a lot of people, if like, dude, there's tons of bands on labels that no one cares about.
Oh, 100%. Well, actually, it's interesting when I see labels signing. Like, I feel like a lot of labels now will do, like, they'll cast a wide net and just pick up a bunch of artists because they can always drop you.
Yeah.
And if you don't, like, they're just getting in their bets early, and it doesn't really cost them anything to just do that. You know?
It's funny, like, because I was like, I'll go on like bigger labels, YouTube pages sometimes, and there was like at least 5 labels, like Equal Vision, Fearless, Hopeless. They all have like white guy rap pop, like pop punk vibe.
Oh, it's
like,
a new thing. Yeah, because Machine Gun Kelly, dude, like, you got to follow the money.
They're all trying, because, they'll all invest, because if one of them hits, it's fucking
it makes
money.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing too, is that people don't read their contracts and they don't understand. Like, I would never sign away my masters or my publishing. Those are things that I've realized are so important. And so, like, if you ever are doing something like that, you have to make sure you're licensing your music and they're not retaining your masters, because like, so many artists will just like sign stuff and then it's like, cool, now like you just have lost everything for life.
They own the music. It's like they wrote the song at that point.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's just like traps everywhere that you fall into. Like, have you heard of like perpetuity, for instance? Like, sometimes management or even labels will sign clauses into their things. Like, for example, like a manager who manages you now, they will sneak in a clause saying that they have perpetuity for whatever you do in the future, which just means like even after they stop representing you, they still collect money from you. Yeah. And it's like you have to look through that stuff and make sure that you're not, and again, if the label has your masters, it's the same thing. They make money no matter what. Like, it's a bummer,
Yeah, they try to find as many ways to squeeze as much money as they can.
Yeah.
The music industry as a whole has suffered pretty largely. Right?
Yeah.
Since like the 90s,
Yeah.
Like,
But, some people don't have like I think that I'm lucky in that I don't find a lot of that stuff boring or like that it's like a chore. It's like that's part of the gig. Like, you write the song and then you have to do all the business work. You gotta, get all the album art and all. Like, some people, they just want to make the music and then they want someone else to handle it. And even to that, I would say, like, you can find people to do that stuff for you, but getting a label to do it for you, they will overcharge you, and it's not worth the money that you put into it.
Yeah, like for some, I think some bands just want like a babysitter almost, where they like almost like 90s mindset, where it's like, I can be a rock star and worry about my thing, and the label takes care of everything.
Yeah,
or like, it's not always needed. Some bands for sure benefit from it, and it's like everyone's different, so like everyone's allowed to have different things. But I think there is like a disillusion, like with what it does sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. I don't really know that artist can exist very long these days.
Yeah.
You just have to be very, very successful because you have to continually make people money.
Yeah.
I read this article. It was really funny. I think it's in Vanity Fair. I've read it 2 or 3 times now, and it's about Lil Pump. Okay. It came out like almost, I want to say like a year and a half ago, and you should read it. It's really funny because it's just this journalist who follows him around for a day, and that's essentially how he acts. He essentially just acts like a 12-year-old, and then he has handlers that take him to things, and it's like, enjoy it while it lasts, because like as soon as you stop making those people money, they will ditch you and they will just let you suffer, and then you're left blindsided. You're like, well, I never handled this before and I don't know how to handle it now. Yeah.
And it's a big fall.
It's like a huge fall.
Up here
it's a huge fall. Yeah. I mean, and his thing is totally different now, but
Yeah, I feel like a guy like him, like, he can end up like, even if music doesn't work out, he'll have like an agent and he'll be on like Dancing with the Stars or something.
Yeah, he's like an entertainer. Or like, he's a different sort of public figure, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's a difficult industry, and that's something that's been challenging for me talking to other people, because I haven't done this for too long, but I think I've done it enough now to know things like this. Talking to people that are younger than me who ask me for advice, I'm just like, oh man, you have no idea. Like,
yeah,
it's nebulous.
I've gotten, people have asked me, how do we get people to like our bands?
Yeah.
People have asked me that, and it's like, dude, like, we're listening to music. The genre of music we play is very much based around music. Is the music good? That's step one.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard. I'm super critical of all my stuff, and like I don't think that's how everyone should be, because I think like sometimes I have no pride in anything I do, and I think it's unhealthy. But like you have to always be critical of your shit, and you can't think that what you made is the best thing in the world. You can be proud of it.
It's tough. I mean, it's a gentle balance of being proud and being, thinking it's the best thing. I think I've definitely walked that line many times where I'm like, why does no one like my music? It's so good. And then I re-listen to it now and I'm like, dude, that sucked. Like, you have no perspective. Yeah, like, it's difficult. And I honestly, the way that I thought about it when I was trying to write better music, and I'm still trying to do this, is like, every time I write a batch of songs, I always try to outdo the last batch of songs.
Yes.
Like, okay, that was, January to March of 2020 or something. I'm going to try to write something completely, like, so much better. And I always am just trying to push that envelope. And I think when you do that 6 or 7 times, you really start to see big improvements.
Yeah.
And that can be challenging because sometimes it's not easy to see songwriting like a job. Like, okay, I'm going to sit down and write some songs this week sometime. It's just like I write songs when I'm inspired. But it's like sometimes you can force that sort of to kind of come, right?
The more you do it, it's like a skill that you build. So
Yeah.
it's not always going to come instantly right away. Sometimes it does, but it's like you have to work on it constantly.
That's actually that's the one thing I will say that's funny is when I meet people that want to be musicians but they don't really want to work. Like oh man, it's just going to art school was a trip because I would meet people and they would do nothing and I'd be like, dude, like not only do you want to be a musician and you're not doing anything, but you're paying money to go to a lot of money to go here and you're not doing anything. Like it was mind-boggling to me, I guess, just because I had to really make a case with my family being like, I really want to do this.
Yeah.
And I had to like fight for it. But they probably were just like, yeah, I'm going to art school, and they'll take your money. Like,
yeah, no matter
care.
what. Yeah. And like you could pretend artist for 4 years and then what happens when you get out of school?
Well, I think that's what we were talking about with like some of the, I like with my master's, it's like some of those things you just pick up like in the, you know what I mean? Like you have to teach like that sort of thing.
I wonder if Berkeley curriculum is like so stupid at some points. Like teach them that it's all about respect when you're with your bandmates. Like, is that like a test you get like quiz?
Okay, I will say, I think that some of the things that I've been learning in those classes, it's stuff that's obvious, but if they didn't mention it and then someone went out there and like they could at least be like, we did cover that.
Yeah.
I think they have to at some point, but there are some things that are super interesting that are a bit deeper, but it is always difficult. I always like went back and forth about the education thing because music is an ever-changing landscape. It's like, how do you teach something that is always changing? Like literally 10 years ago, it was like the big thing was YouTube. Now it's TikTok.
Yeah.
And then in between that, it was Instagram.
Yes.
And like Facebook. And then now, who knows, in 5 years, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Remember when ringtones, like people, that probably would have been a lecture at Berkeley like 15 years ago, selling ringtones.
Yeah.
No one buys
100%.
ringtones anymore.
I have a book that I bought when I was in Boston, like from the Berkeley bookstore about the music industry. And I bet 40% of it doesn't apply now or more. It was like fucking 15 years ago.
Right.
Like,
but also apply to what you do, right? You just have to, you kind of got to think on your feet. I think like at the end of the day, you just have to have someone advocating for you.
yeah.
Because
even if it's yourself.
Yeah. If it can be yourself, but if not, you need to find someone who can like watch out for you, having like a, not even a manager per se, but just somebody that like
A friend. Like,
yeah,
to bounce it off of.
yeah. I think I was definitely that person for other people, and I was happy to do it. Like, obviously not being like, I'm gonna charge or anything. Just people would bounce things off of me, being like, "Hey, is this a good idea?" And I'd be like, "No, it's a terrible idea." Like, and they'd be like, "Why?" And I'd be like, "Because this is like you're gonna get screwed." And they'd be like, "Oh yeah." And then I saved them like a bunch of heartache, and that stuff takes a toll on you. Like, you don't want to play music if you get screwed all the time.
Yeah.
It's not
Takes the
fun.
out.
Yeah, it's not fun at all.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I miss, like with COVID. It's like I miss the fun of just going to like a DIY show, and it's just like you don't know what's gonna happen, but everybody plays, and then there's like these really nice moments that happen where everyone comes together. I think that's what has taken the fun out of music for me.
Yeah, I mean,
recently
the live element to what we do is like very important, and it's gone completely.
Yeah,
for the most part. So
are you organizing any shows?
No, I played in Philly 2 weeks ago, and they required Vax IDs, and then I'm going to Gainesville for Fest if it happens at the end of October. I don't really want to book. In general, I don't know how many shows I want to book anymore.
Right.
I will when it's like very important too, but I'm not gonna. I'm too old to be like a show promoter. I think.
Yeah. It's difficult. Yeah. That's another role that I always like now. I guess I really have admired more is like somebody who goes out of their way to really organize shows and stuff. It's a really thankless deed.
100%.
Up to like there's a point where I think people make good money doing it, but it's
Getting to that point is very hard though.
Yeah.
You know, like Death of a Salesman, like the play. It's about a car salesman who like is underappreciated, gets like no love, family hates. I always thought it'd be funny to do like Death of a Show promoter.
He just comes home and like microwaves a meal.
Yeah, like sending Facebook
and then
invites.
someone calls him and they're like, why did you book us in this slot? He's like, I'm sorry, and he
yeah, like no one is ever happy with like, you make all the money and you don't pay us. It's like 20 people came to the show on a Tuesday that I set up at a bowling alley. You know?
Yeah,
it's hard.
No, it's not. You know, it's something that I really thought of too recently, without getting too political. But like other countries will like fund art things like that. This is all done like 100% out of the love and care of that art form. Like there has been zero like initiative, as far as I know, from like any government to be like, yeah, we'll sponsor this sort of, or we'll like create at least just keep a space open so that the art can continue. I don't know that many of those places.
New Jersey had one community center in Flemington that they just closed down, but it's like excuse me, it was like an kind of affluent area, and like it's very hard for things like that to come by, especially like funding a center strictly for like the arts and stuff. It's like it's not as big of a priority here because they want to like let the free market decide like, art, like, you know.
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, I just think about how much some of that stuff really ends up, like how big it becomes, and then how much it means to a lot of people, and how it really shapes. It's just straight up. It's just fascinating how far, how advanced music has come here in terms of it, like in industry terms, and just like how it's promoted and the global influence. But it's not at all it's supported by any sort of government program or something.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And then it's funny. I'm reading a book on Lookout Records right now, like the Bay Area,
right?
And like they're talking about Gilman Street, like
the
punk venue,
something like that. Yeah,
like such an important space to so many people, where they like literally grew up in, and like that's where they socialized and made all their friends. And it's like most of the times it's started by a group of people who are like, let's get this done.
Right.
You know.
I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about the ramifications of that. I think just because the like societal collapse is more imminent now than ever, I've just started to think about how fragile that ecosystem is of like, like, I mean, the conditions are pretty ripe for it then, but now doing something like that would be very difficult. Like getting real estate in, what was it, Oakland? Yeah, like,
that's a hard
It was in Berkeley.
job.
It was in Berkeley.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Gilman, yeah. Berkeley, yeah.
Yeah, getting real estate in Berkeley, good luck.
Like all the paperwork you'd have to go through and like all the things.
Oh, yeah, good luck.
Have
fun.
There's so much red tape now. There's so much less money now, for the most part. It's where it's like, I've definitely talked about it on like one of these podcasts before, but like doing a venue now, it's almost like you have to do something else, like cafe/venue, or like, unless it's like a bigger venue and you sell alcohol. But if you're doing like the DIY level where it's like maybe your place can hold 100 to 200 people, maybe it's like, you know, that's at the end of the day with bills and everything, unless you're selling out every night, it's like,
no, it's rough. And I always also struggle with that, with like the whole music industry being run off of alcohol. It's basically the alcohol industry.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not a what is it, teetotal, whatever you say, someone who abstains from alcohol, whatever you call that kind of person. I'm not like that. Or straight edge, but I think it's teetotaler or something. That's like I don't know how to pronounce. I have to look it up. I forgot.
Don't look it up.
Okay. I'd have to look it up. I won't, but I'd have to.
Yeah.
But there's a specific phrase for people that abstain from alcohol. But I'm not that person, and I'm not like anti-alcohol, but you have to look at the numbers and be like, damn, alcohol is like bad. Like it's bad for society. It's like it's rough. Like I'm not advocating for anything about that either. It's just a bummer that music and music would not exist without alcohol.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like
a lot, and bad things come out of it. Like it probably makes people have more fun and like lose some inhibitions out of
but like, you know, somebody is struggling with alcoholism and then they love music it's like you're gonna have alcohol at every
Everywhere.
show. Yeah, so you can't go to shows that like drinking or like
Yeah.
you just all around you.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, but I mean, obviously, if that wasn't there, then it wouldn't exist in the first place. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I know some bands they make like all of the door because or they'll even get in on like a percentage of the bar because of how much money just like a venue will make at a. Yeah,
It's probably bigger than the door admission a lot of the time.
I'd have to think about that. I want to
Say if there's like a $10 cover, right? And every person buys 3 drinks.
Well, what kind of show are you talking about? Because I would think more like a hall or something, like 1,000
Okay.
cap.
So then like a $20 to $40 cover.
Like, yeah, let's say 20 for the argument.
Okay,
So sold out show
3 drinks at the bar?
per person.
Yeah, I mean that's more than 20, right?
Let's do 2 because some people might not drink and then some people might drink more.
Okay.
So 2 drinks.
So probably a wash then, or maybe more from the door, but the door money gets split.
Well, you have like 20,000 gross and then 2 drinks per. This is fun. This is.
Yeah, we're like starting fake businesses here. Yes.
No, but it is interesting to think about. Like, okay, yeah. So if you have 2 drinks, let's say there's a markup and they're making like $5 a drink or something.
Yeah.
So it's $10 per head. So it might be half and half, but you never know. Like it's a variable.
Yeah.
But that's if you sell at the show. If the hall is half full,
Then
the drink's probably making more than the tickets.
yeah.
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 But then the band's probably sneaking in some extra on VIP. There's so many variables, but yeah.
But you can always rely on alcohol to sell. Or,
Exactly.
like, you can't always rely on like bands to draw.
or even just like if they're drawing, they're getting paid, but they don't necessarily get paid for what gets sold at the bar.
Yeah.
The venue takes that home 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's shitty because you would think bands should get, even if it was like 10% of the bar.
Well, you get drink tickets.
It's funny. Man.
That's actually one of my biggest pet peeves because I'm not a huge drinker. So they'll at like every other show that we play, we get like 4, 5 drink tickets, and I'm just like, dude, just give me the cash value. I want to get dinner.
Yes.
Like pay for my dinner.
Yeah, that'd be
and
nice.
We're not. I think we were getting to that level where we could like negotiate for catering, which is like what a mid-sized band would be able to do.
Yeah.
But we weren't there yet, so then I would be like, just please give me some
Food. Yeah, that's more important to like living on the road.
Yeah.
you know?
I was in like Columbus or something, and I asked for like a White Claw because I was like, all right, I'm finishing this tour, let's get some White Claw, and then they
Let's
were like,
relax.
sorry, you got to pay for it.
What the fuck?
I know.
Come
I
on.
was like, dude, like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm playing. Like, the
You're
one time I wanted to have a drink, they were
Yeah.
like, no.
Where'd you play in Columbus?
Played at the Grog Shop, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah.
I've bands that I know have played there.
Did I can't remember if I finished in. I think we finished in Cleveland actually, or was
Yeah.
it Columbus? I don't remember. It was one of the two.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
interesting.
I would like to come back. It was like an opener sort of deal. I would want to go back as a headliner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've played in a lot of places. You know.
But it doesn't feel like enough. Like I feel like also like some of those times it was like we really threw it together. Like it was like we're hitting up someone we don't know that's hosting us with bands we don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you come back on your own terms and you really feel like you have a different experience. I never really got that because of COVID.
Yeah.
There's a lot of areas we didn't get to hit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were like right there.
Yeah.
Sucks.
That's okay.
Yeah.
It'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think I should do differently with Choke Artist?
What do you think you should do?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe you can manage me, dude.
I should be a manager. I would like to manage acts at some point, but I think I would need to accrue more knowledge,
credibility,
more knowledge.
network.
Yeah, and then just be older maybe because I think I'm too young to do that. But
Yeah,
that would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Managers I feel like instead of practicing their instrument, they just like network.
Yeah.
Like just like talk
to people.
Yeah, exactly. I would have to just be better at that. Yeah.
Make phone calls and stuff.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a good manager would do.
Yeah. So I'll tell you about the Choke Artist deal if anyone wants to know what it's like to be signed. There's no contracts.
I was signed at one point.
Marcos was signed. There's no contracts, and you get 50% of the profit off physical items once I break even. So it's like what you were saying before with indie.
It's the rough trade deal.
Yeah. Where I think I fuck myself is I don't take any of digital at all. For
Well,
you, it's different because we like reissued 2 of your old EPs, so I wouldn't take that anyway.
But digital is interesting because it's like I feel like for labels, I guess you are a label, like
Something.
but like you're not like an LLC or something.
No.
Like yeah, but you're an operation. Like
Yeah.
if you could somehow like get people on playlists, or you can make playlists that people listen to, and then be like, I will add you to this, then you provide a service digitally that would like you would get a
Some
percentage.
promotion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's where I feel like it can make sense. Like if I had a tangible way to measure how much of how many people I could bring to this band's like audience, you know, like
Right.
the growth that I can prove. Where it really hasn't felt like I ever did that until like maybe 2-3 years ago. Where like it does feel like now there's even though it's like probably a small, but there is a core of people who like follow the things I do. You know, it's just like half of them like math rock and half of them like ska, and then it's like.
Right.
But you know, I like just putting out the music that I like ultimately, and that's why I do it, because I like helping bands. You know, you were a DIY act, right? You played in Standards. I think it's safe to say that here. But
What?
I don't
understand.
know. I
the
just think it's
joke.
fun. I just think it's funny.
It is funny.
Can we
I think
say
it's
that?
safe to say that.
Hot takes. But yeah, it was just cool because I just saw how hard you worked, and I liked your music, and I just wanted to help. You
No,
know?
dude, I loved that stuff. I think the stuff we did was really good. And It
Yeah.
was like, and I think it's good to do that, like in general, just like to have stuff. Actually, I think it's pretty crazy. You still do all that stuff yourself. Like you package all that stuff.
I mean, I've helped my girlfriend Caitlin and my roommate Ernie.
But
and some of my
still,
friends.
like that's an operation.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I talked to, was I talking to Top? I think I emailed Top Shelf about maybe distroing some of the records. I think this is before he signed with them, and they were like, right now we're transitioning to where all of our mail order is fulfilled through an outside company, because like I guess they do higher volume than me, but they don't even like. I don't know if they even ship their inventory. They have like other people doing.
Oh
it.
no, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
And we've got the same thing.
Yeah.
Which was why I was stoked about that, because I was like, I can just do whatever I want, and I can just like have like stuff shipped anywhere. But that is like what you'd have to do. That's why I'm like, but you know, like I guess they do get paid to do that, but and you're in a way getting also paid to do it, but it's like you're really just doing it because you like the band. You're not really doing it for the money.
Oh yeah, this isn't a job at Eddie Beans. I've probably lost more money than made, but sometimes I've made money. It's like kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm getting better at it, but I don't really. I want to still be punk rock, so it's like, it's hard, man.
You don't want to be like that band with the $5,000 guarantee. They're not punk.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out the Vandals.
You guys you guys missed that one.
Yeah.
I don't even know any Vandals songs.
No,
I just know them because they had Josh Freese in that band.
Yeah, I think there was a funny story. I was listening to maybe one of them on, the guy from Less Than Jake does a songwriting podcast. It might have been that, but like they did a like documentary, and it was like them talking about how punk they are, and then like a video of like the bassist or someone driving away in a Ferrari, like as like ironically like they were like leaning into like, yeah, fuck you, we're getting paid, you know.
That's hella funny.
Yeah.
That's hella funny.
Yeah. But I have fun doing Choke Artist. It's fun. I have fun doing these podcasts, you know.
Good.
I just try to like, you know, I'm just some guy, and I just want to do stuff sometimes, I guess.
Are you okay? You okay, Joe?
I'm feeling pretty good. I did a stomach. I got quiet. I thought about my Crohn's disease, but it's actually feeling pretty good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
That's good, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah. I had a classmate get Crohn's, actually. It was a huge bummer.
Did you say I know a guy that has it?
No, it was a
Thank
while
you.
ago.
Thank you for not doing that.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know you then. But
Okay, good. Because I have friends that are like, their coworker has Crohn's, and then they go up to him like, yeah, my buddy's got Crohn's, and then it's like, what else do you say? Like,
yeah.
oh, I bet he shits bad. It's like, yeah, like.
Yeah, no, also, I know this miscellaneous fact, but, like, I think the clown from Slipknot, his wife has Crohn's.
Shit. Damn.
Yeah, no, I just know that because I think that he was, like, he had to leave some record-making process. I'm, like, a huge Slipknot.
Rest in peace, Joey Jordison, man.
Dude, for real.
Fucking sad.
For real. That was a huge bummer for me because, I don't know anything that he had done after Slipknot very well, but the stuff that he, like, while he was on it, And I think he did a lot to really push metal forward in a direction that was good.
Yeah, in middle school, that's all. We talk about Joey Jordison all the time. Like,
yeah.
He's so good. Yeah, it's sad. Because there's a video of him from, like, a year before he passed, like, talking about, like, I fucking beat this thing and you can too. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
What?
Like beating, because he had that like degenerative disease
right, yeah.
that he beat, and then he passed in his sleep. I don't know if it was related to that, but it was just sad.
We might never know, honestly.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, I think regardless of what happened in that situation, I think of Paul Gray, who passed like 11 years earlier. He died of a drug overdose. Like, I think it's interesting the juxtaposition of like artists now who are very mindful. I don't know if you know people like this, but they're very mindful. I think maybe I'm one of them in a way, like very like health conscious. I'm not like a healthy person, but I'm not like railing coke or something.
You're like too focused to get sucked into shit like that.
I guess.
I don't know if focus is the right word.
But I not that I'm saying that I've observed it and I'm the one coining this paradigm. I'm just saying that like I've noticed other people like comment on how rock stars now, you know, they'll be drinking like green tea instead of like alcohol or like you know, versus back then, like, you know.
There was degenerates.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Seriously, yeah.
So I think it's better now. I think some of it is like, because there was like a lot of grimy things that used to happen where I think there's more accountability now too.
Right.
But yeah, it is interesting to see how it has kind of shifted. I think there's just less money, so you can't go as hard.
Yeah, that is true. I do remember reading about like Elliott Smith. You know Elliott Smith?
Yeah.
I think he had like a $1,500 a day heroin and coke habit when he was at his peak. Yeah, because he had scored some really big stuff and his albums did well, and I was just like, dude, that is, nobody could afford that now.
Yeah,
like that's nuts.
Not in the budget.
No, I think the one dude I remember now is like Johnny Craig got caught up with all of the MacBook stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's how he was making his money for his. I don't even think he was making enough money in his band to like justify. Yeah,
selling illegitimate MacBooks and never sending them.
Yeah, that's rough. It's depressing, actually. Yeah.
It's sad when you put all your eggs in the basket of being a performer, especially in today's climate, but in today's day and age. Seriously, like it's so hard to do. Where it's like there's big bands that like still, you know, and this isn't a knock, but like they live at home still and like they work odd jobs and shit, and it's like just do what you can and like just have fun. That's what really counts, I think.
Yeah, of course. I think the only thing that I've observed that I can comment on that is that I think it's important to really try to stand out, not just as a performer but as just a personality. And I think a lot of people that have done that, like no matter what you think about them, they're doing very well for themselves and they're not struggling. Like one of the people I could think of would be like Tosin Abasi. Has done really well for himself, like making himself sort of this like guitar wizard. Not saying that it's like a perception thing and it's not real. It is very much real.
Yes.
But he's very much like led the pack. He's been the leader of the animals.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, just he's done really well for himself in sort of like marketing. He's not the only one, but he's just one example.
Yeah.
Of like people that do a niche thing and setting the bar pretty high as far as like what they want to do and really standing out.
And yeah, also being a metal guy and not like wearing like all black and spikes.
No,
and, like,
dude, I commend. He really stood out with like he's really does up his like outfits,
he's dapper,
and he made his own like guitar look. Like it's not easy and it's not something everyone can do, but like that is a very important thing to do nowadays.
Yeah. It's you have to be something that can like stick with someone, especially like with all the oversaturation of everything, which I think I have more tolerance for now. Where like. For like years, I was like, "There's too many things out here," but like now, I'm like, I actively look for new music all the time.
Right.
But I think it is easy to get like overwhelmed with everything going on.
I think I did for a long time, and I didn't reach out. And I think now I'm trying to really try to listen to something new every day, which might seem like for some people like that's just what they do, but that was really hard for me for a while because I got sick of a lot of things. I was like, this is just this. This is just this, and you get really cynical.
Yes.
And I caught myself in that, and I felt really bad about it. And now I really try to put myself outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah, I think I mean ever since the Chan boom of 2012, I'll never forget.
Oh no.
No, but it kind of great band. It kind of became a genre though.
Well, I think any great band's going to have imitators, and I think those imitators are going to do their thing. And I think even to a point, like, I think we started doing things a bit after that, so I think we get compared to them sometimes, but not really.
Yeah.
But it is all in that same umbrella, right? And so I think for me, realizing that, I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be lumped in with that. I want to be my own
You have to.
thing. But it's tough, like, especially because, like, public consciousness is only so great. They're, how many guitar instrumental bands can one person really latch onto?
Yeah.
Not many. So you have to really do something that's going to differentiate what you're doing.
Yeah. And you do. Like, you stand out, you know?
I hope, I like to think so. I want to try to do that more and just make it very definitive. But I'm glad that you think so.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah. Well, I know you personally, and I mean, seeing what everything that you've done up to this point, I would say it's not like John, you know?
No, but like I don't know, like they're never. That's the thing. No one ever will be Chan, and
Yeah,
no one will ever be anything else because you'll never be those people.
Yeah, you can be a watered down Sean.
Yeah,
you know?
well, but it's gonna be it's gonna be like you're trying to be, but you never will be. Because nobody will ever do what they did. But it's not that it's something that's unachievable. It's that it's unmistakably them.
Yeah, you have to find your own voice.
You have to be yourself.
That's so much of it, dude.
That was a difficult thing for me too. Was trying to be myself. I think it's hard to lean into some of those aspects because if you get rejected, it's like people are rejecting you.
Yeah.
They're not rejecting anyone else.
You mean in your writing or like in your social media?
Well, just if you're in a band, like I'm speaking personally, but also just as other people, who talk to me about their stuff. If you do what you really want to do in your band and your writing, and then you get rejected, it's like a true rejection.
Yes.
Of society is rejecting who you are.
Yeah.
Right? That's a difficult pill to swallow.
It is.
Yeah.
But most people, I don't want to say most people, but some people are just so much ego off the gate that they, like off the bat, that they don't like even realize. Like, it's good to be critical and it's good to be like perceptive of how people like see you. But some people don't see that at all, and then like there's no self-reflection. Like, you have that in you, and that's what like made you better, like that fear, Sort
of, yeah. I also feel like I've had many ego deaths over the. Well, I don't think I think that phrase is used differently than.
I mean, you also got older because you were like 22 when you started the band.
I was 20.
Yeah, dude, that's young.
Yeah, but it was like I think we turned 21. I turned 21, and then like a couple days later, the first EP came out, and then a couple days after that, we went on our first tour.
Yeah.
So it was like a whirlwind, but like by the time I turned like 23, it was like I felt very grounded in reality. Whereas like I think in between that, I really was ashamed now thinking how I used to think, where I felt like I was better than I feel like I am now, and just I felt like I was more important than I thought. Than I think I am, but it's okay. I think it's important to be like you said, like realistic. Have some perception. Yeah, your ego really does blind you to a lot of things.
Yeah, and it's hard, when you're that young and you have like a lot of validation and fans, and you're like a little stinker sometimes. You might like ruffle some feathers, But
well, but I also don't want to. Yeah, I can't not do that stuff sometimes because it's who I am.
Yeah,
I like to have fun, and people will take things like you can't please everybody.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's an excuse to be a stinker, but you can't not have fun because you're afraid one person's gonna get upset with you.
Yeah,
like, you have to go for gold sometimes, and I don't know. I think that it's important to just be yourself sometimes.
Yeah, 100%, dude. You can't. We used to always joke like. This is a long time ago, but everyone used to like post about bands and say great bands, great dudes, like that. Whenever you mentioned another band, you would like have to say that. To the point where we literally like released a compilation called that because it's just like platitudes of like everyone like being fake nice for the sake of networking, and like now it's like everyone calls you like the homies, and like I'm sure it's like genuine.
No, and it's good, but I think it's something that really has opened my eyes to a lot of there's certain circles of things that I really have to talk about. On the pod.
Yeah, lay it down.
I gotta throw it out there.
Lay it down.
And I'm not gonna name names, but you know who you are. No, I'm not here to be the. There's just some things that I've seen that have made me second like question just what you're like how that is. You're just like, oh, these are the homies, these are the, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I saw a band get called out on Twitter, and I don't think what the person in the band did, it wasn't like an allegation of like assault or anything. It was just more so this person has not been attentive to the other two people in the band and has been like capitalizing on their identity for the band, and it was not great stuff.
Yep.
But the response that I saw was so over the top, and it was literally boiled down to this one tweet that I saw, and I was like, wow, this is really unhealthy. Because obviously this person was not a great person, and all that stuff could have been handled privately. But the one tweet that I saw was like, I'm glad this band got called out because now I don't have to pretend to like them anymore. And it's like, where's your conviction? Like, if you don't like a band, you don't have to pretend to like them.
Yeah.
It's like, it was difficult to watch because I felt like both sides were wrong in that situation. I wasn't really rooting for anybody.
Yeah.
And it was a bummer. Like, I mean, obviously, I lament that, that situation had to go public because obviously things weren't getting resolved.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I hate that obviously it's clear that a lot of people will just say that they like you and then they don't actually like you. It's just, like, it's fake and it's toxic.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that.
It's always going to exist, too, because it's, like, networking to them.
Well, I understand that.
I get being cordial and everything, but, like, for someone to say, I'm glad I don't have to pretend to like this band now, it's like when people turn on you and say, oh, we never liked them anyway. It's like, it's such an easy thing to say.
Well, and also, like, not to make it about me, but that did kind of happen to me, too. Like, it was like, oh,
With what?
With the whole, like, fake allegation thing.
What's the fake allegation?
Do you want me to run you through it?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Maybe it'd be good to do it anyway because I think
it happened a while ago.
Yeah, it actually happened a week before the album came out.
Well, perfect timing, dude.
Right, dude. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Like, so, and I mean, I have receipts. Like, I don't feel like I have to actively dispute this because it just is not real.
Yeah.
But like, the gist of it is that someone made this allegation that I groomed like a 17-year-old into being my girlfriend, and then I was like mean to her. But this person, and they put it on the Math Rock subreddit, and they didn't do anything specific. It was never like Marcos and I were here in this place that he lived. It was just like very unspecific, and then it featured like this doctored screenshot where I was like saying like mean things, but it was never like I assaulted X person. The allegation was very bizarre, actually.
Yeah.
And I basically messaged the person asking them why they were doing it, and then when I realized that I could like sue them, I was like, if I can prove that if I lose my label deal from this and I can prove loss, I can sue you for like slander essentially.
Yeah.
And then the next day, they retracted their entire statement, and it was like some dude from like Canada or something.
Really?
And it was because I had posted a list of bands. Like, it was a Google Doc that I found, but it was just all the allegations that had happened. And I was like, you should just stay informed. I wasn't saying don't support these bands. I was saying stay informed. I do believe a lot of those allegations, and I do think a lot of bands like have gotten away with a lot of things for too long.
Sure.
And I guess that was part of me like using my platform or whatever. And some people would say that's great. A lot of people didn't agree with that situation, and one of those people was that person. And so they wanted to teach me a lesson about allegations by falsely accusing me of something.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah, well, the bummer about it was they were taking the spotlight off of the real allegations, creating a fake allegation, and then essentially setting a precedent, being like, but that's what I was worried about, is that people could just be like, well, what about that time with Marcos where it turned out to be completely false, but it would be something that really happened.
Yeah.
I didn't know this person at all. Like, we had never met also.
Yeah.
Like, I did actually try to find out who they were, and I'd never met this person.
But you knew they were from Canada?
They told me they were from Canada, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's sad and, like, very unfortunate, but it just takes, like, one bitter person to do that.
Right, but then there was a 24-hour window where it was like, you can say whatever you want about Marcos because he's a shitty person who did this shitty thing, but I didn't actually do it.
Did people like turn on you?
Yeah, I had some people turn on me. I got kicked out of some Facebook groups. I got some unfriends. I got some threads on Facebook about me.
I need you to leave now, dude. I need you to get the fuck out.
I'm too hot. Well, it was a bummer because I called a bunch of people, and at the end of each call, it was like, Marcos, did you actually do this? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And the thing I was getting accused of wasn't even super, like, if I was that dude, I would have like ramped up the allegation or something, because it was like he talked to me when I was 17, and then when I turned 18 we started dating or something. So I guess
that was it.
Well, and then it was like he was mean to me in the relationship or something. But the thing is, like, the time frame they were giving, I was like dating someone and that like could verify, and it wasn't that person. Like, it was like we talked, like, it was so I could verify
That
like
was
that
just
it wasn't.
totally made up.
It was completely made up.
Holy
and it was like,
shit.
there was so many, and they, the other person came out and said that they made it up, and whatever.
They posted on Reddit and like cleared it, or
They posted on Reddit and cleared it, and then someone else sent them like a link saying like this is a link to like something, and then found their IP address, and that like
Yes.
also cleared
Yes.
up that it wasn't,
good.
or at least at the time that they're but
Fuck that, dude. Well, I was saying this to you before, but it's like, and sometimes this is important. Like, it's always important to hold people accountable and shit. But like, when you have a platform, even one that you built yourself, some people want to take it away because it's jealousy or spite, or he shouldn't be able to say
or but
that.
they don't like you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They don't like you. They don't like what you said about holding people accountable. And
Right.
It's like, and it's easy to, because with online momentum and like mob mentality, frankly, like it just fucking catches on, and like people focus on negative shit a lot.
Well, I don't think, and I don't think that that's, I think it's important to believe these things, because I think more times than not,
they're true.
they're true. But I think the only thing I wish is that some people had reached out to me and people had waited just
Yeah.
a second, because if you just wait a bit and there's just you get all the information. I don't think it's necessarily denying it, but you just have to make absolute sure. Sometimes things come out later.
Do some due
yeah,
diligence.
people
about
just
it.
want to jump on the thing. And I think
Yeah.
in a weird way, I think that's good, because people want accountability.
And
I don't think
lot
it's
of-
good if they just want to see you like your career end.
Yes,
I don't
yeah.
think that's good.
I mean, a lot of the outrage has resulted in like progress, like real fucking progress that like we've seen in society, and that's great.
Well, in the music scene too, because I think it was like, I can't remember if it was like a UK survey or something, but it was like female musicians, 40% of them have experienced some form of harassment or assault in the music scene.
Yeah.
What incentive does that give female musicians to engage in that? It
Yes.
doesn't. It's like
Not at all.
I don't want to experience this, or I don't want to engage in that at all. That's not cool.
Yeah.
But
true.
yeah, at the same time, it's difficult. There's no thorough process, and I don't want to say that like what happened to me is like indicative of like, oh, like but if people had waited, if people had talked to me, that would have been cool. But it's resolved now, and I guess for that I can be happy. I can
So
not have
the
to
people
worry.
who have like said they hated you, like, oh, I never liked them. Like, have you talked to them?
Well, some of those people I was like because I had either rarely talked to them, or like I thought we were cool. So I did talk to a few of them. A lot of them just ended up owning it, and they were just like I think they almost felt like embarrassed, so they didn't want to. They kind of like doubled down. So I was like, okay, whatever. But it's not that.
Oh, like owning it, like, no, fuck you still?
Yeah, exactly. Like they
Yeah.
basically were like, yeah, actually, I don't like you, basically. And it was
Yeah.
like, I thought we were cool, and I just want to be cool with you. But it was just a difficult time. I mean, it's not like I had like a bunch of people like that, but it was like I'd stayed at some person's house, and then it was like they were like, actually, I hate you, and
Yeah.
all this. Yeah, so that's rough. But like I think at least in a weird way, and this is the kind of maybe not so great, but when I go online and I put something up that I've worked on with Cam, or like we're like some music or a riff or something, and I see like hundreds and hundreds of people like engaging in it, like liking it and commenting it. It's like none of that stuff really matters, because the people that want to support me are there, and there's a lot of them, and it's
Yes.
like that's what's important. And I feel very lucky that for most of like the beginning of the band anyway, I never really experienced any hate or pushback, and I think it did expose a bit of that. But that's just how it is.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. When you get to like a certain level, there's just gonna just be people that do that for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
And that's okay. You don't have to like me, and I think it's not bad to like be honest about dislikes and likes, but it can get personal. I think that's where it's not good.
Yeah.
You can I definitely like think that I like a lot of people, and sometimes I don't like their music, but that's okay. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So do you find that you've distanced yourself from being like super involved online, like since that happened, or?
I think so, but I think what I've done to try to re-engage is just make it about the music. I think I've done less like entertainment and more just like, here's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
And when I get, even though maybe if I did like a viral-esque, like I'm going to cover something on like 2 guitars or something, like people liked that stuff, and I got a lot of...
Oh, when you play it, yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, but I never really felt like I got anything from that. People would just like it and move on. Whereas like when someone likes something that I like wrote, it's like, oh, that's really cool. And I felt like re-engaging with that was important for me. because I didn't want to like have to. I feel like just social media can be kind of a circus sometimes, you know, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just one viral video to another, and, you know, it's just everyone gets their 15 seconds of fame, and then it moves on. And
I can smell desperation in some bands when they post. Like, I could just, like, things that are being said, or, like, I don't know.
But that's the troubling thing, is that as someone who I feel like I've had a lot of things I've done get farther than I ever could have imagined. I'm grateful for that, but it never really netted me anything, because the real fans are the ones that are going to buy your record, and the ones that are going to listen to it and, like, tell their friends about it. Those are people that really like you. Yeah. That's all that really matters to me now, and I think that's it's a bit difficult, because I kind of wish I still had that part of me where I was just like, I want to make a silly video that people find funny, and then it like goes viral or something. Like that's cool.
You
but
still could.
No, I still like to, but it's just the payoff isn't worth it to me anymore. Like I don't really care about that anymore.
It shouldn't be a priority.
Yeah.
You know?
It's difficult, you know. But yeah, I mean, the desperation really comes from wanting to get noticed. But again, like, even if you did have something that did really well, like, how many of those people are going to listen to your music? It's debatable.
I mean, some would. Some would follow you and be like, this guy's crazy at guitar, let's see what he does.
Well, for me, it's different. But if you're doing, like, a silly, like, meme video, I don't know how many people would like your... It just depends. I think it always comes back to the music. I think people forget that. I
hope that's true, dude. Like, I fucking hope. Like, that's what we do.
No, I mean, the good music is what keeps people coming back. Like, even... Yes. I mean, that's why, like, have you seen all the, like, memes with, like, was it 5,000 miles or 1,000 miles or 1,000 miles?
1,000 miles, yeah.
Yeah, from Vanessa Carlton. Like, that song's like 20 years old or something. People still come back to it because it's like arguably a good song. Yeah, like, it's like nobody cared about any of this stuff because that's the one that people remembered. Like, you know, it does something for you.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, dude. I mean, to reiterate from before, people ask me, like, what to do to get popular, or, like, why don't people like us? Why aren't we getting this opportunity? And it's like, first of all, I don't know why you're asking me like I'm some fucking hotshot, but it's like, ultimately, like, make better. Just be good. Just focus on being good. And then once you do that, like, focus on being better. And then, like, yes, like, make sure you have enough moving pieces in place, like, online, where it's, like, you're at least putting yourself out there, like, a healthy amount. But ultimately, like, I'm a true believer, like, that if the music's good, and like it resonates with people, that it will like organically spread, you know?
Well, I don't know. Well, first of all, I think if you ask that question, you're just on the wrong train of thought. But like, have you ever seen the movie Jiro Dreams of Sushi?
No, actually.
You should watch the movie. It's really great. Actually, when I was in high school, we had this like very, I wouldn't call him prolific, but he was very dedicated jazz teacher, and he was dedicated in the sense that he wanted everyone to be very good at jazz, even though we like met for an hour and a half, like twice a week or something, you know, like it's kind of an uphill battle. And, you know, as like a music teacher, like you already said, like if a student isn't really going to work on it, like it's going to be hard to have them like featured in like the, you know, whatever, like it's difficult to have kids like work. So, but he was very committed to trying to have everybody very aware. And I think he did a great job getting people aware of lots of different types of stuff. But he encouraged us all to watch that movie because it is about this guy who runs this just like amazing sushi restaurant. It's like under a Subway or something, and you have to reserve 3 or 4 months in advance. And it gets a bit repetitive, but essentially like what you can take from the movie is that he's not doing it to be the best sushi chef. Like if a really great sushi chef was like, how can I be like you? He wouldn't tell them anything because he doesn't know. All he knows is that he loves making sushi, and he that's out of that pure love for doing something that he becomes so good at it. There's no advice he could give anybody because he's just driven to do that, and he like to the point where he literally dreams about it, making sushi. Like, and even like I think he had like 2 sons. Like he was like, I think he's 90 now, but at the time he was like 80.
Wait, is it a real person?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Oh shit. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah. Watch it. It's I think it might still be on Netflix. But he has like 2 sons that are trying to be as good as him, but neither one of them are like as committed as him. Not saying that they're not committed, but he's just so.
They're not him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they both have restaurants, and they're very good. Yeah. But his is like the best.
Damn.
And it's because he just loves, like, that's his whole life, and he's like obsessed with like getting the best raw ingredients and like the perfect method for cutting and like all that stuff. And it's like, if you're really committed to like and you really love making music, that's not something you would ever worry about. It's like, how do I get big?
Yeah.
Or like, how do I make good or whatever? Like, you question is like, it's just you gotta love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing about social media is like it does turn things, I mean, kind of into a competition in some ways where like
It sucks.
engagement is quantified and there's numbers involved, and
It
like
sucks.
it really kind of takes the fun out of it in some aspects, and then it makes people feel bad, which is like music shouldn't do that, you know?
No, of course, and I think that's the thing. Like, but that's the thing too about social media is like, no matter how great you or how big you get on social media, there'll always be someone bigger. Like, and it's just that's just if you play that game, you'll never win.
Yeah.
But if you make a goal, like you set out to do something and you do it, you succeeded. Like if you wanted to make a ska-core album,
yes,
and then
many,
you did
multiple,
and then you did, and you made it to the quality that you wanted. Then you did it. You succeeded in your goal.
If I'm happy with the release, that's all that matters.
Yeah, well, I like back on Elliott Smith. Did you ever listen? Do you ever listen to Elliott Smith? Not really.
No, my roommate was. Did they commit suicide?
Yeah, Elliott Smith.
Yeah, my roommate was telling me about them recently.
Yeah, that's actually there's a conspiracy with that because he stabbed himself in the chest with a knife, and so people think that that's suspicious because very few suicides are from that.
To have the force.
Right. So they think that like someone else. Well, I don't want to stoke the fire and say who did it. I don't believe in it. I think he committed suicide, but like the thing is that they think that his girlfriend did it because she was there, but then it's more or less like wrapped up now, and they think killed him.
Yeah.
Anyway, he came out with an album a couple years before all that called Figure Eight, and I think the sort of the inception of the album was that I think this is a really interesting sort of philosophical idea he put in there, but that like a skater does these figure eights and they keep doing them over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And it's really sort of this cyclical, like infinite thing where when you create art, it's sort of like doing that, where you're just trying to do it better and better, and there's no real competition but yourself.
Sure.
And I think that's kind of an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the healthiest way to look at it, right?
Well, that's how I look at it now. Like I'm gonna put out this EP, or it'll be out maybe by the time this is out. I don't know. When
August 27th. Is that when a single pre-orders?
Pre-orders, and then September 24th is when you can buy it.
Out
yeah,
soon.
it's coming out.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
but it's just like 5 tracks, and then we have like some B-sides that are going on the second side of the vinyl.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah, but like I was like I made that, and I was like, all right, let's do it better, And it's like but it's like, how can you compare yourself to anybody? I think in a weird way, if you can compare yourself to anybody, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
It should be like you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to talk about, well, I can't say the band's name, but one of the ska-core band of men, we just got offered to do a split with this band that we all love and like grew up listening to, and like I write the music for the band on Guitar Pro, and I was writing for like a month, and I had in mind like, we're doing a split with this band, I have to write a song that's gonna like, and like for a month I was just trying to write one of their songs,
right?
And it wasn't coming out right because
it
wasn't like my musical voice, because I just kept thinking about them, and I was like, yeah, they would like this, or this is, and it was like, it was too much of them in my writing where it wasn't like organic, it didn't feel like genuinely me. And then eventually, like a week ago, I was like, no, I'm gonna write something to counter it, where like I'm gonna not try to be them, I'm gonna be me and do what we do best. And like it was the first time I was happy with that song I was writing in a month, literally.
Right.
So
right.
It was just like interesting. I had like other people in my head too much.
Yeah. No. That's the external influence too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I got offered that similar sort of thing, like doing a split with a band that was like, I would be like, oh no, like
yeah, it fucked me up for a minute. I was like, what do I do? This has to be the best song ever.
In a weird way, if I did get offered something like that, I'd want it to have something already finished, so then I could just not.
Here it is.
Yeah, just be or just be like something already written, where it's just like, okay, I like this, and then I don't have to think about how it'll come across with the other.
You don't have to write it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, what are some of your favorite ska bands while we're here?
Ska bands? Oh, man. Well, I told you I was listening to the Aquabats. Again, that was cool.
Hell yes. Fun band.
Yeah.
Fun-ass band.
Super cool. And then I will check out the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones again, because I do think there's probably some good hits there, right? Yeah.
I think, dude, honestly, I don't know a lot, but they're like a Boston rock, punk rock.
Yeah.
They were like the first ska core.
Right.
Because I think what they were playing like back then,
they had like
was
guitar,
aggressive.
like electric guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. Yeah, I'm not some things have like aged for me in a way that I didn't particularly care for anymore. Like I re-listened to Streetlight a while ago and I think it's really cool, but I was like I don't like it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
It
It is a
didn't
little, and this is the problem I have with math rock sometimes. It's like a little too brainiac. Where
It
it's
can
like,
be. It can be. But you know, obviously, it's really like top tier.
It's
I wouldn't
great.
even say ska. It's like more of a punk.
Yeah, but it's like a gateway.
Yeah, I mean,
Marching
there's
band
there's just a
gateway.
lot of stuff like that you know. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's just like I like I guess we were talking about it on the way here. Like, there's just a lot of more ska bands that are getting more attention now, and so it made me think about it.
Yeah.
So now I was like re-listening, being like, oh yeah, I forgot about ska music.
Hell yeah, ska's in, dude. It's
Yeah.
back.
It's back.
I remember everyone laughed at me.
The fourth wave.
It's, dude, I never would have guessed that, like, the thing that would come out of the pandemic was, like, ska being relevant again. I could have guessed, like, to me, math rock has fallen off a little, and maybe that's just my personal, maybe I've just been swallowed by ska so much that, like,
No, I think that like you need to have records that come out that get people interested in a genre.
yeah,
So when you have seminal works that come out, people start to rally around that genre. And
Sure.
I think you saw more of that like a couple of years ago. I do think that COVID like really slowed a lot of tastemakers in math rock specifically, but I don't think it'll ever go away. I think it's one of those genres like ska where, like you said, it's always there,
yeah,
but then people start to care here and there.
yeah.
But it's always there. It's never going away.
Yeah,
it's
it's
never
true.
going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the most important thing, I think, is just for the people that are passionate about it, any genre, just to keep making it. And
Right.
like, you know, things are cyclical. Like, focus on your craft and, like, just make good songs. And,
Right.
you know, yeah.
But that's you know, congrats to ska. I'm happy.
Fucking ska
I'm
coming in
happy.
hot, dude.
I'm happy for you.
It's crazy.
Do you still have your Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I think
show
the
the camera,
S-
dude. I wish we had a camera operator. We could do a zoom.
I think the S faded on my lip.
It's all gonna fade eventually,
I'm-
right?
That's what they said, but ska never fades with me, Marcos. So who knows? I was thinking about it last week. Like, I'm gonna have to get this touched up one day.
You think?
Like, go to a tattoo parlor and be like, yeah, I need to touch up a tattoo, and then show them this ska lip tattoo.
That's sick. Yeah, maybe I should get one of those. I should do like math, like
Well, I don't even know if standards.
like fruit, like.
Yeah, that'd be
you know.
better. Get
Well,
like,
I
get
started
like a
calling
pineapple or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, that's a
Fruit
good
rock.
idea. Yeah, I started calling it fruit rock because I was just like, I don't know. I literally don't know what to call it anymore. It's just
Yeah.
so different now.
Elements of math rock, I guess, as far as like the technique,
The
finger
guitar
tapping.
for sure, but then all the other stuff, it's like almost like 8-bitty or chiptune or.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, yeah. I can't wait for people to hear this EP, dude. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Thanks,
for you.
dude. And then yeah, I'll show you some more stuff
Yeah.
when the camera's off, dude.
Yeah.
Turn
Hell
off
yeah.
the
I
cameras.
can't-
dude.
yeah. You have more music in. That's very exciting.
Yeah. Well, my hope is to come out with a new record every year. So like LP, EP, LP, EP.
So keep sending things out at the plant every 2 months at this rate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I'd hope to just EPs would be like online, and then I'll do like a collection, like put all the EPs on one vinyl or something, and then do LPs or something like that. But
Yeah.
I hate like sitting on songs for more than a year.
Yes.
It really bugs me.
Yes.
Like, I hate releasing music, and it's like, dude, I wrote that when I was like a different person.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't feel like you can connect to it as much.
no,
anymore,
but then
yeah.
but it sucks. I'm actually happy though, because then when I release it, people feel the way that I felt when I first wrote it. So then
Yeah.
I'm like, I can sort of get that back a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate it. I just hate it. I can't do it. So
Yeah.
hopefully just gonna keep going with that trajectory.
This is the first year that I've had to sit on releases, and I'm like we have a mix, and I'm just like, it's a bad feeling. I
Yeah,
don't like
for
it.
real.
Yeah, but yeah, I hope you can do EPLP.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think it's just baller to be like mixing a record right now while the other one is getting like our next release is getting mixed while the other one's getting released.
That
like,
is baller.
It's
dude.
baller.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I'm just like, cool. Like, we can
Fucking
just get
music
ahead of-
man over here.
Well, I don't want to ever like have any problem where it's like I felt this way in the past where it's like, oh, we can't release it because of this thing or this thing, we need to wait, and it's like I don't really want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you can be prolific enough to back it up with good music, like,
well, that's the thing. I'd never do it just to do it. I would release it only if it was like, you know, I was really into it. You know, yeah.
yeah,
I think that's other like I'm very proud of myself for having that ability to like self-edit now, where I write something and I'm just like, nah, this is not, you know. And
Yeah.
it sits on my computer and I'm okay with that. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's good to just show people what you're really proud of.
yeah.
Yeah.
The best of the best. Like, you know.
I think that's what might surprise people a lot is when you learn that like Ed Sheeran probably has like hundreds of songs on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Because he just nobody's always on.
Yeah, for Toxicity, System of a Down, they had like 40 songs or something.
Well, they did them all as B-sides, but even those ones were good.
Yeah. Oh, that B-sides album was the songs that didn't make Toxicity?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
Did
know
you know
that?
that? Yeah,
No.
Steal This Album is I think some of them are probably new, but I think most of them were B-sides.
Yeah.
They were like they didn't make it on the record, but
Oh, cool.
that's crazy. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
When a band like I think the only other artist I can think of off the top of my head was like Kendrick when it was like Untitled Unmastered. I think those were To Pimp a Butterfly B-sides.
Yeah.
And those were great.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, his B-sides are hits.
Yeah,
Like
very sick.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, again, like being a working musician, if you really want it as a career, like make music. Like,
Yeah.
don't like just sit all day and wait for opportunity to come to you.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone's used to like the album cycle. It's like come out with an album or do like a 6-month pre-order window and then you're doing tours of one territory, another territory, another territory. You go into the studio, write a new thing, then loop it. And that's like every 2-3 years you do that.
Yeah.
So people get a new album every 2 or 3 years. But
Yeah. There's no touring right now, so.
Right. Well, that's why I was also like, if I can just put out a bunch of releases, then maybe if I stop, like I'm too busy or I'm on tour or something, then it's like I have all this other material. People don't have to wait.
And the idea is that if you're casting a wider net every time, then like those people go back and find the old stuff. And
Right.
it just keeps
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Awesome,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's very exciting stuff. If you're listening, make sure you check out the Standard single, the music video. Right, the video's coming out.
Papaya.
Yes. Yeah.
Island vibes,
Fuck
baby.
yeah. It's a big vibe. It's a big
Is
vibe.
New Jersey an island?
No, dude.
Oh.
What?
I'm gonna look on the map. I'm not sure.
You think it's Staten Island?
No, New Jersey's kind of like an island, right?
No, dude.
I think it is.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. We're
Hang
gonna
on.
we're gonna wrap this up. We
gotta-
have to find out if New Jersey's an island.
There's like water around it though.
Dude, yeah, there's water around California.
Oh no.
Everything is, yeah, I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, Staten Island.
Staten
is an
Island.
Yeah,
Island of Staten.
That's close.
Shout
yeah.
out.
Yeah, we're not on an island right now.
No, sorry. But check out Papaya. What's the EP called?
It's gonna be called Yum.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, you sent me the artwork. Very cool.
Sick. All right.
All right.
Choke artist out.